If you're looking to drop your 40 time in just a few weeks, look no further, because today I'm going to show you how you're going to drop your 40 time and you're going to gain speed and become unrecognizable. They're like, oh my gosh, how did you get so fast, man? Somebody get a PED test or something to test this dude. So stay tuned and watch the full video. What is good, YouTube? It is your guy KJ Howard back here again with another video, and today I'm gonna break down how you're gonna drop your 40 and show off at camps and start pulling them offers. Before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and join the desireLess crew. We just hit 400 subs, and like I said, by the end of March I still want to hit 1,000. That's the goal, and it can happen, man. We 12 days into March. We still got about what, 19 days left? Okay, so 19 days to hit 1,000 subs. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and also if you're interested, join the email list if you want written format content to help you dominate the game. Also on that email list, we're kind of just giving out stuff, and you kind of have one-on-one communication with us. You can ask questions, anything like that. It could be personalized to you. Or if you want to know insights on what's going to be dropping next or certain things that's coming up and you want to know before anybody else, join the email list. So link to that is in the description down below if you're interested. But what we always say, we don't get straight to the meat and potatoes and why you're here and how you are going to drop your 40 time and gain a 4.340. Like I said, now I know you're watching like, why would I listen to this guy right here who just looks like a guy? Well, I'm glad you asked. My name is KJ Howard. Well, I already introduced myself. I don't know why I just said that again. But I'm a guy who run a 4.340, potentially 4.2, depending on this pro day. I can jump a 42.5-inch vertical. I'm a very explosive, twitchy athlete. If you ask anybody who's worked with me, trained with me, they'd be like, man, this guy's twitched up, he's fast. But I wasn't always the most explosive guy on the field. I wasn't always this super twitchy athlete. I was a pretty good athlete, decent athlete in high school, but I chose to train and develop, and I turned myself into a fast, twitchy guy who can run a 4.3 and jump a 42.5-inch vertical. So I know a lot of people, they have mixed emotions about the 40. Some guys are like, man, the 40 is big, and some people are like, man, the 40 doesn't matter, show me that tape, I want to see an in-game speed. But in reality, the 40 is the mecca of all testing in any football environment. If you go to any camp, you go to any combine, anything like that, what's the number one hyped up drill? What's the number one drill that all the coaches are actually paying attention to? It's the 40 time. Like I said, speed kills. People always like say like, why do you think speed is the most dominant thing? Because like it is. I can say one thing and be the other. People could say certain things matter, people could say this or that, but in reality, what do they actually pay attention to? It's the reason why the 40 is the most hyped up thing in the combine, or the 40 is the most hyped thing at the camp. The 40 matters. It's the mecca of all testing. So even if you're a guy who says game feel matters, yes it does, but they want the 40 to qualify. They want to justify that speed that's on the film. So if you're a guy popping off on the film, it's like, man, this guy is fast as heck, he's blowing away his competition. I want to see how fast he actually is. Let's see when he's on his stopwatch. They want to say, okay, is this guy actually legit speed, or is he just playing weak competition and you know he's a 4.7 guy, but the guy he's playing is 5 flat, you know, so that's what makes him look so elite. 40 is very important. But now when it comes down to increasing your 40, it all starts at the beginning. Everything matters. When I talk about the start and stance, is the most important thing for a 40, bro. Because if you get out and you get a good split, that first 10-yard split, and you run an elite 10-yard split, everything else carries over. It's all momentum. The 40 isn't a long race. It isn't a 100-meter dash. It's just 40 yards. So when you get in your drive phase, your start and your stance, you get in your drive phase, that's going to carry you to the finish line. Okay, so you need to make sure you're in a strong, powerful stance. I advise that you practice a stance. Watch some YouTube videos. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos out there that shows you how to properly get into a 40-yard stance. You need to be in a proper stance where you can create enough power. You want to get up, you want to be low, you want to be powerful, you want to be damn near feel like you're about to fall over in that stance, because you want all that pressure to be on that hand. Whatever your hand is on the start, you want all that pressure to be up there, and you want to literally lean, feel like you're about to fall over into that. That's how you want to have your stance when it comes to a 40-yard dash. It is like a regular 3-point stance where you're kind of sitting back, your weight's on your heels. No, I want all my weight to be on my freaking hands. I want to be like, I am about to fall over. And once you're in that stance, feel like you're about to fall over, you want to explode out of it. You want to be in that stance and hold it for like 2 seconds, and as soon as you're ready to go, like I said, it's on you whenever you want to start the 40. You want to explode out. I mean, need to think in your mind that like if you're squatting, imagine you're about to max out squat. You know when you got that bar on your back going down like it's 135, you know you ain't coming up. But if you're going down like, okay, I got my max squat on me, you're gonna boom, explode up, okay? That's the same thing you want to do when you're in the 40. You don't just want to come out like you're doing like some 110 or you're doing straddle. No, you want to come out like if you're racing for a 5-yard sprint. Imagine you had a race with your buddies and it's 5 yards and winner gets $10. That's how you want to come out. You want to push and explode, because you understand like when you got that 5-yard race, you understand you ain't got much room to work with, so you got to really explode out. And that's how you want to be in that 40. The start and the stance of how you explode out is so critical to determine if you're going to run a good 40-yard dash or not. Once you explode out, you're going to drive for 10 to 15 yards, depending on the athlete. Some guys, they can pop up at 10 yards. Some guys, they can pop up at 15, 20. It depends what your strengths are. If you're a guy who's really good at starting the drive phase, you might want to go 15, 20 yards. But if you're a guy who's really good at top end speed, then you might want to pop up a little earlier. It all depends on the archetype. But the critical thing is, no matter what, you're going to be driving at least 10 yards. You're going to be driving, and that's critical when your head is down and your knees are up and you're literally covering ground. Boom. You're building that momentum. You like I said, you're in a catapult, starting stance, and once you explode, you're driving, boom, 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 so you can properly peak. It's like an airplane. Airplane don't just pop straight up, do it? No, it doesn't work like that. You gotta gradually, yeah. So like the same thing when you're sprinting. You don't want to pop straight up, because you pop straight up, one, you're not gonna be able to get out of a good drive phase. You're gonna pop straight up. That's wasted movements. You're going up instead of out. And then two, once you get that top end speed, you're not gonna be able to hold it that long. Like I said, you want to be able to peak at the right time, so when you're at your top end speed, you can hold it for a long period of time and you cross that 4-yard dash. If you pop up, you're gonna start slowing down around that 30-35 yards, which is gonna have you run a slower time. So make sure you guys are driving for that 10 yards. It's critical to do that. Right now, my training, I'm training for my pro day, and I'm be honest, all we do is we focus on the starting stance. That's literally all we focus on, because they understand how critical that is. The top end speed, yes, that stuff's important too. You obviously want to work in top end speed, but 80% of it, 80-20 rule, the 20% of the 40 that's going to deliver 80% of the results is the stance and start. You focus on that 20% small part of the race, which is the stance and start, is going to give you 80% of the result. Like the start and stance is so critical, because like I said, once you got to a good start, everything else take care of itself. Okay, I know you ever see guys just like, man, how did this guy run a 4.4? How does this guy run a 4.3? He plays much slower. The thing is, they go to these combine training facilities and they train on their 40s over and over again when they create the perfect starting stance, the perfect drive phase, the perfect top end speed, everything. But they're focusing on the starting stance first. It's the foundation, and they built that up to where that's like, man, this guy ran a 4.4. I know I was watching the combine and I was looking at some of these guys like 4.4. I'm like, I'm watching the film. He don't look like no 4.4, but if you get that explosiveness and you get that starting stance and you get that drive phase right, I promise you, bro, that's gonna just really take 2-3 tenths off your foot. If you master that, if it's one thing I say from this video, is that you just go home and just master and just start doing stance and starts. Let's say you got a camp in July or May, and you right now you start doing stance and starts. You used to get like 5 reps and keep practicing it over and over again. That start and stance, that stance and start over and over again. You're gonna just knock off 3 tenths of your time just by becoming more efficient out your drive phase and how you explode out of your stance. I'm telling you, that's all that matters. You want to master, you got to practice it over and over again. You need rep. You know, you're not gonna get it right on your first time. You're not gonna be elite at your first time. Nobody is, but you got to keep repping it over and over again over a period of time and be consistent. Keep repping the 10-yard sprints, the 5-yard sprints. Start there, then start building it. Focus on the 10-yard sprint. Okay, once you feel like you're mastered that, get to the 20. Okay, once you get to the 20, okay, get to the 40, and keep repping it over and over again to increase your 40-yard dash. And now we're gonna go to the cherry on top of the 40-yard dash, which is the top end speed. Which, like I said, the top end does matter. That does play a factor on dropping a crazy time like a 4.2, 4.3. Like if you want to run like a low 4.2 or 4.3, then you're gonna need some top end speed. And not even a low 4.3. Any 4.3 or 4.2, you're gonna need top end speed, because like I said, like drive phase is important, but do you want elite time? The top end speed matters. And what really top end speed is just having the ability to slow down slower than everybody else. You ever see somebody running and it's like as they're running, like they're getting faster and faster as they run? They're not. In reality, you don't get faster as you run, you decelerate. But the thing is, people who have that illusion that they're getting faster as they run, like a Carl Lewis, Olympic track runner for USA, he was known for his strong finishes, that he just decelerated slower than everybody else. Once you hit your peak speed, you're gonna hold it maybe for like a second or like 10 yards, 20 yards, but after that, you slowly start to decline. Why? Because your body's getting tired. Lactic acid builds up, everything. Like you only can hold it for so long. But a lot of guys who don't have great top end speed, it's like, man, these guys get hawked all the time, or they always, you know, they just never finish strong. They start good, but they don't finish strong because they decelerate a lot faster than everybody else. So you want to do is you want to decelerate slower. And that all comes down to hip flexor strength and hamstring strength. The hamstring strength, that's like, you know, is keeping you, boom, pulling you forward. Hip flexor and core strength, because I tie that all together, actually core and hip flexor strength, because that is keeping your knee drive up and going and keeping your legs running fast. If you want to keep your legs running fast and keep that top end speed, you need strong hip flexor, you need strong core. That's why you always look at like guys with great top end speed, they have extremely strong cores, they have extremely strong hip flexors. And like anything, you can train those things to get faster. Now I'm not going to go into detail how you could train those, but if you're interested, I have a free 4-week speed workout guide that has all the information on how you can build top end speed, how you can build good acceleration, all the phases of running fast. I have a free 4-week workout guide. Link in that's in the description down below if you're interested in that. So if you want a guy who wants to build that elite top end speed like a Tyreek Hill, Devon A-Chain, Raheem Mostert, all them guys play for the Dolphins, it's crazy. Jamison Williams, guys who have elite top end speed, link to that in the description down below. You make sure you guys check that out if you're interested. But like I said, there's ways that you could train your top end speed, build that core strength, hip flexor strength, and hamstring strength. When I was younger, I lacked top end speed. I always been a guy who was kind of quick. I'm not a tall guy, so I'm short, so I'm lower center of gravity. It's easy for me to get out and kind of, but I didn't have the top end speed. When I was in high school, I wasn't a guy who was running. A lot of people, they see me now, they see how fast I am now, they expect, oh, he's a track star, he was running 10.5s, 10.4s, you probably won state and all that. Like, no, top end speed was not there when I was in high school. I think I never broke 10 seconds, like sub 11 seconds. Our fastest 100-yard dash I ran was 11.1. 200 meters was even worse. It was like a 23. I did not have that top end speed like a lot of these guys who are as fast as me now had, but it's something I worked on over the years, ever since high school. I'm 5-6 years removed from high school, but over those 5-6 years, I trained on speed more than anything. So building that hamstring strength, that hip flexor strength, and over a period of time, I got got to Ohio, that's when I realized like, oh snap, like man, like I'm explosive. Like I always been kind of quick, so I got even quicker, and then I had the top end speed. Like I was able to hold, like I was top end speed running long, like I had that. So like now I feel like if I train for track right now, I can get down to like 10.5, 10.4, to be honest. Like that's the type of top end speed I have now. But I didn't always have that. I trained it over and over again. Like I said, it's something that you could train. But if you're looking for how to get the best 40 possible, focus on the start and the stance and the drive phase first. I'll focus on that first. The start and stance, your drive phase, those first 10 to 20 yards. So that's going to carry a lot more weight than focusing on top end stuff. Top end stuff is good too, but it's going to take time to develop. You're not going to get it in a day or a couple weeks. You know, you need months and months of training your hip flexors, your core, all that, build that up to become elite and become really fast. And if you can string both of those together, you can string the top end speed and the high acceleration, then hey bro, you're going to run a freaking 4.2, and the coach is going to be like, you ain't got to do, like you run a 4.2, you got to do nothing else. 4.3, no matter what camp you go to, nothing. You ain't got to do nothing else. They going to look at you. All right, here's your offer. Go out. We want you to come here. As a matter of fact, come on, let's go on a visit right now. They're going to take you after the camp. You're going to go on a visit. They're going to show you around campus. They don't want my man, this guy got elite speed, man. So I just showed you how you're going to run the fastest 40 of your life. And I promise you it will work. Focus on the start and stance. First, you need the stance. The stance is how you're going to come out everything. You need to have that forward lean. You need to have all the pressure on your front hand. Like I said, there's a lot of YouTube videos on how you can get the proper stance. And after that, you want to drive for 10 to 15 yards, digging. You want to explode out, bow, explode out, dig, 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 dig. Focus on that. Practice that over and over again. I don't care. 10-yard splits. Keep doing that 4 times a week, 5 times a week. I don't care. Keep doing that, and then work up to 20. Then you build up to a 40. Okay, this is how you properly get that elite 40 and drop 2-3 tenths off your 40-yard dash in just a couple weeks or months. And tie it in with the hip flexor training, top end speed training that I have in the free workout guide. You're gonna have a crazy 40-yard dash. So like I said, if you're interested in that workout guide, link that's in the description down below. But I want to hold you guys up any much longer. This video is already kind of long. Hopefully I showed you guys how to increase your 40-yard dash, but drop your 40-yard dash time. So if you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up. You guys catch it. We'll see you guys later.